Hey, it's me. So when you're claiming deductions in your tax return, any deductions that are related to your salary, that's the thing that you're on payroll for, that's the thing that's in the first part of your tax return, you put that in the second part of your tax return. If it's not related to that salaried occupation, then it needs to go in your business. Yep. So if you don't have a salary job and you're all business, incredible, congratulations. Put everything in the business section. Don't put anything in the deductions bit, okay? It's all under the business. Cool. But what's deductible is the same for both. So let's do some examples of what's deductible. No, don't be sorry. Some of the things that you can claim in your tax return with or without a duck. Public liability insurance is a good one that sometimes people miss. Things like compulsory uniforms or costuming. The cooker is, if it's personal or like private, it's not deductible. If it's work related, then it is. That's sort of the general vibe. You kind of have to say, I couldn't really earn an income without having bought this. For example, if it's like a costume that you're wearing on stage, you couldn't really have earned the money from the show if you weren't wearing a costume, right? So you needed the costume. Versus if it's like a pair of jeans that you also wear on the weekend, you probably could have done the show, earned the income, you know? Like you didn't need to be wearing those pants to be here today, but they are really nice pants, so well done. These pants on stage, deductible. Magic. Makeup is a tricky one. If it's like stage makeup, then yes. If it's stage makeup remover, yes. Again, if it's just your basic bitch foundation that you're gonna wear all the time, probably not. So if you're going on tour or you're traveling for a big art show or something really cool, congratulations. If you're traveling and staying overnight, then you can claim things like your accommodation, you can claim things like your food and your incidentals, amazing. The only caveat with that is if you spend a whole bunch of money because you'd like take the whole cast out for dinner and spend like $1,000, it's a bit more sus. Probably won't be able to get away with that in your tax return.
No, don't be sorry.
If you're just traveling a really long distance, maybe you live far away or maybe you're going to a gig that's far away and you don't stay overnight, then you can't really claim things like your food. Too bad, how sad, I guess. The ATO doesn't let you do that, which is a bit of a bummer. So the only deductions that you can claim for your car are when you are driving between workplaces or between gigs or between client site. If you are traveling from home to a gig or to your office, that's not deductible. They think that that's private expenditure. But the exception is if you have really large equipment that you can't store at work. So if you're a drummer or I don't know, a double bassist, don't know any of those, then you would need to have your double bass in the car so you can claim the travel from home to work. The easiest way to figure out how much you can claim for your car is to use a logbook, which has to be a minimum of 12 weeks from the financial year. And you're basically just logging your odometers, the amount of kilometers that you've traveled and whether it's private or deductible. And then you take the percentage of that that is work related, that is deductible, and you multiply that by all of your expenditure for your car for the whole financial year. So it's a lot better. You usually get a much bigger deduction that way. Versus if you're just doing the kilometers method, you don't get as much money. Basically with your deductions, you want to make sure that it hasn't dramatically increased year on year. Like if there's a particularly large figure that you're claiming, that's when it tends to ring the alarm bells for the ATO. If it's sort of like a moderate amount or it's consistent with previous years, it's less likely to be flagged. But if you're like sick, all of a sudden I have 10 grand worth of books, they might be like, tell us some more about that. They might ask for an audit. But if you did spend $10,000 on books and it's fine, just make sure that you have the records ready to go. If you're going to claim it, make sure that you can back it up with evidence. That's French for evidence. Thanks for listening to me rant in a park with ducks.